Guys, and welcome again. Before I get started, can you guys do me a favor and hit the like button, and if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do hit the subscribe button, and remember to click on the bell icon so you guys will be notified of my latest video. And so let's get started. And number one, arguably biggest trap of all, spending to impress. Okay, I have an example of my real life experience, and I am pretty sure that there is at least someone like this in our group. I have been wanting to chat with a buddy of mine, let's call him Mr. B, and he looked awfully unhappy and gloomy as he just bought a brand new car last month, a Beamer, specifically 3 Series. Get it? Bought Beamer, and so he's Mr. B. Okay, it's lame. Okay, continue. So, what makes a man gloomy and sad even just after bought a brand new shiny car? I guess you guys can guess it right. Since we are of similar posts and his salary could not have significantly higher than mine, and given his lifestyle, it would be difficult for him to pay for the new car. So I am very interested to know. And nope, not due to jackpot income from side hustle, and certainly not due to sudden wealth inherited from prince of certain country. Apparently, his wife just enrolled their child into a prestigious school. So, to match the peers, the wife asked my colleague Mr. B to buy a Beamer, but actually his wife wanted a 5 Series though, and they also planning to buy a bigger house. And so, ever since Mr. B bought the Beamer, he and his wife are working in the weekends to support their new Beamer. Actually, before he purchased the Beamer, he is the social guy, accepting any invitation of lunch, and in fact, most of the time he is the one suggesting all the after work activities. Just like any sociable people, he often posts on Insta or FB about his family day during the weekends, over the fine dining, traveling, branded clothing, and of course latest gadget. But after the Beamer stopped completely, and now instead of family days during the weekends, Mr. B and his wife have to work over the weekends and even on public holiday. Mr. B did told me about his plan to buy a bigger house as he was planning to have another child, but now he had to postpone the new child just because he have to finance the car and also the incoming big house. Every day I saw him looking moody, tired, and getting scolded almost every day because occasionally he messed up. Just luckily small mess up, not those big messy up. Seriously, what's the point of spending money to impress others? I just don't get it. Luckily, I am lucky enough to not have spent on new car. Seriously, it's okay to buy a used car. You should not feel embarrassed using a used car. I am just driving an old Kia, bought off my dad's at market price of course, as I know my dad took care of the car very well. And as of this year 2019, the car aged 19 years old. In my 10 years of usage, the last big maintenance was 2015, and I spent around 2000 ringgit, and that's it. Until now, no more issue. While my peers are paying installment and interest to the bank, I have been saving around minimum of 500 ringgit every month to my saving account. And earning interest from the bank for the last 5 years. Just in case the car completely broke down, I could have used the money to buy a new car. And I definitely have no problem buying the car cash or at least 50% down payment. The lesson here is that never ever spend to impress, especially spending big with installment. Just live within your means. Money trap number 2. Not keeping track of those small expenses and also impromptu purchasing. Most of us could not care less, thinking that it is just less than 10 ringgit, so it won't harm my wallet at all. It's just small purchases and it's not even a frequently purchase. And that's what trapped a lot of us. Actually, I used to buy snacks and drinks after hanging out with friends. And guess how frequently we will be hanging out with our friends. For me, it's basically every day. So yeah, the thought of spending a bit, but every day means a lot in the long run. And I have this friend, while having his meal, he's he will always order some small snack, and most of the time he will end up half-eaten meal and a small snack. Of course, while we are hungry, we feel like we can eat a whole cow, but in reality, no matter how hungry we are, our stomach capacity remain the same. He always ended up with the food half-eaten and money wasted with a bloated stomach on the way home. And this example is for us who travel quite a lot, be it for leisure or for businesses. One thing we often forget to bring is charging cable or charging brick. So being a slave of the phone, we had to take a trip to the convenience store to buy the cable or the charging brick. But of course, being human, swayed by the temptation, definitely will buy a few pack of snack, chocolate, or chewing gum, candy, drinks, and voila, the money flying away again so easily. And this type of behavior or spending, definitely it will accumulate, and just like the snowball effect, the amount is small, but over time it definitely will grow significantly. It is very important to keep track on our expenses. I did a video about how to not broke ever again, describing how and why we should start tracking our expenses. As usual, the link is down in the description below. Let's do an experiment. Test it for yourself. For a month, note down all your small expenses. As long as it is less than 10 ringgit, but don't include your essential item lah, like fruits, veggies, toothpaste, etc. Just note down all those things you bought impromptu. You will be surprised on how much you spend on it. Here is 2 tips for you guys to avoid spending on impromptu and small expenses. 1. Stash away your smaller note. Put them in a cookie jar or under your pillow or even up in the ceiling. Do this for a month. You will be surprised how much money in the cookie jar or even up in your ceiling. Personally, I have already upgraded to level 2, so I am using method 2 and I name it the triple T, which is think twice or even thrice before you buying it. Try this. Stop and stare on the item you want to buy for a while, or make a round trip. While making a round trip, think of a logical reason to buy or not. And most of the time, this will help you to get over the sudden urge or impulsive purchases. And number 3, afraid to invest or even lazy to learn to invest. Hence, you're holding too much cash in your saving account. There's a girl in my group that caught my attention. She seems like a pretty down-to-earth type of girl, not wearing or using any branded item, and even bring her own water bottle during dining out. And so I'm guessing she must be interested with financial stuff. But it turns out she is not a little bit interested as well as any form of investment. She just like to save money in her saving account. And to be honest, I was once just like him. Love to see the number grow, especially when salary day. I would deposit 60 to 70% of my salary into my high interest saving account. That time I was very fixated on saving only. Of course, that was before I know the glory of investing. And to be honest, that time I was a bit scared, thinking negatively with what if I lose it all? What if I need the money for emergency? What if I don't know how to combine with laziness to learn, read, and research? I wasted almost or at least 3 years by letting the value of my money eaten up by inflation. It is not wrong wanting to save your money in saving account. Definitely much better than spending all of it. But please do remember, don't make my mistake. And remember that inflation exists, okay? And the value of your money now will decrease next year. In fact, every single year. So, here's a tip for you. While you are learning to invest, please don't be lazy. Don't let the value of your money to drop significantly by placing your money in a promotional fixed deposit. And remember, do not put on the onboard rate. Ask the banker for promotion rate. Most of the time, promotion rate will be much higher than the onboard rate. Definitely watch out for those terms of incremental or step-up rate. It is a trap. I repeat, it's a trap. Usually those terms have much lower effective interest rate than their competitor. Instead, you should look for and ask the banker for effective rate, or sometimes known as effective interest rate, which it means that interest rate that is actually earned or paid on an investment loan or any other financial product, and due to the result of compounding over a given time period. And layman terms, just ask the banker if you deposit 10,000, how much you will get upon maturity. That's it. Our saving account probably does provide some interest, but it might be just as little as 0.1%. You hear it right, 0.1, and that is not even 1%. It cannot even thank half of the inflation rate. So instead, look for those high yield saving accounts. The rates and terms and conditions are different among banks, so you have to find and choose those in your favor. Luckily nowadays, not necessarily had to place fixed deposit over the counter or the hassle to find the best rate. Some bank does offer online placement, and you just need a little bit of time researching online, or just simply call the bank, ask for their promotion rate. Let the money work for you while you are getting the knowledge to invest, okay? Once you have acquired sufficient knowledge, dive into investment. Doesn't matter if just a small amount. First step is always the hardest, okay? Don't be shy to ask or get set back by criticism. Take it as a value-added advice. Listen and analyze its worthiness. And that's it. 3 money traps that most of us will fall into. Let's just summarize the 3 main reasons. Trap. 1. Don't spend to impress. 2. Get to know your expenses, even small ones, and impromptu purchases. And 3. Get started to learn and make your first step to invest. So that's it. Subscribe, like, and click on the bell icon. See ya.